In lane 3 to go through to the final. Here's Ian Maurice and Doug Donahue.
Thank you, Graham. Yes, this is the last throw of the dice for the men's 8. Last bite of the apple, because they have to finish first or second to go through to the final of the 8. We just saw the first repechage heat won by the United States from Canada. So those two crews now go through to the final, and Australia is up against some pretty tough competition. In lane 1, the Korean 8, they should be able to beat them, but Bulgaria in lane 2 will present some problems. The Australians are in lane 3, and Great Britain in lane 4 is another hot shot.
Well, the Australians are superbly prepared. They've been here now on the Han River for some 2 weeks or so, and they are really raring to go. We saw them in their heat yesterday, come second to West Germany. They are really ready. They were second, but I think the extra row here on the repechage is going to help Australia, and I expect Australia and Great Britain, hopefully the two, to go through.
Okay, just about in the starters' hands. Again for you, Korea on the far side in lane 1, Bulgaria in 2, Australia in 3, and Great Britain nearest the camera in 4. The Great Britain crew began pretty well. So did Australia, though. They went with them, and then Bulgaria. Korea a little slow to start. I would expect that the Koreans will drop out of it pretty quickly, but Great Britain and Australia beginning pretty well. Great Britain may well just have the lead from the Australians. Bulgaria third and Korea's fourth.
Australia off at 46, and it was a good start too. They've just got their bow just in front of Great Britain at this early stage. There's a tail breeze down the course, about 1.5 metres of wind, so that'll help the crews go down the course. But Australia has started off very, very strongly. Their move here would be to have a really all-out row, because they've got till Sunday to recover, so they can use this row to really not only get into the final, but really just tidy up and finish off their training. Hopefully they're going to go through.
There's a good shot with Australia. Just got their bow in front of the Great Britain crew. Inside the Australians are the Bulgarians back in third place. Korea, as you can see, have already dropped well back. So it looks like it's going to be a race in 3. And Australia, bear in mind, has got to finish first or second to go into the finals on Sunday. They can afford to give it their best shot and really go for it today, because they do have a few days break before that final. 3 and 4 vying for first place. Australia in 3, Great Britain in 4.
Superb race here as they're coming up towards the end of the first 500 metres. Great Britain and Australia virtually locked together, and then only a short distance back from them would be Bulgaria, and then dropping out of the race would be Korea. Now it's Great Britain just ahead of Australia as we come to the 500 metre mark, and then you can see the bow of Bulgaria, number 2. Now the Great Britain crew were third at the Lucerne Regatta, and Australia was 6th, but since that time the Australian crew has been changed and are moving much better and much more confident. You can see now Australia, the two coxswains for Australia and Great Britain locked together, and virtually back from them is Bulgaria, but not out of this race at all.
Great Britain have slightly the lead over Australia at the moment. Bulgaria back in third place, but the Australians are staying with the Great British crew and doing pretty nicely. That's the situation at the 1500 metre mark. They've gone pretty well past that now. Great Britain still leading from Australia. Bulgaria back in third place. Forget Korea, they're well out of it. The Australian crew rowing pretty well, and Great Britain really doing some good stuff as well.
Well, Australia's still holding a rating of about 38. Great Britain at the moment just starting to edge out on the lead on Australia. They've moved out to about a third of a length. Australia's staying within range, but it's important that Australia stay right with Great Britain here, because it is possible there could be a challenge to them both that come from Bulgaria. Stroke Jon Popper there, you can see in the picture. Then coming down to the stroke, Steve Evans, and then also coming in the picture now is Dale Cadis and the coxswain, clearly giving instructions to the crew and letting them know just what is happening and where they are in the race.
What a great race.
Through the
this
1,000.
Halfway mark, and a great race on our hands with Great Britain and Australia neck and neck. Bulgaria back in third place, and Korea well out of it, but looking straight down the course on a beautifully calm afternoon here on the Han River. It's Great Britain just got their bow in front of Australia. Bulgaria's about a boat length back in third place, so if Australia can maintain this position, they'll be through to the final.
Well, Australia rowing very, very well, holding their position again with Great Britain there, and Great Britain now holding about a third of a length, it would be, over Australia. And then in third place, Bulgaria.
Great Britain in lane 4, rowing very strongly. They have this lead over Australia, but that's okay, because Australia can afford to finish second. First and second go through to the final. The bow of Australia coming through now, and James Galloway will shortly come into view, and the rest of the crew there, Hamish McLaughlin, Andrew Cooper, Michael Mackay, Mark Doyle, James Tonkins, and Jon Popper, and of course the stroke Steve Evans. good-looking sight with the coxswain Dale Caddison doing plenty of yelling.
Well, Australia now at 38, Great Britain leading, and they're coming up towards the last 500 metres in this 2,000-metre race. The second repechage, first and second going through to the final. A superb race here through the 500 now. Great Britain a half a length in advance of Australia. Now the question is, can Australia lift their rating and move up with strength and power to take on Great Britain over the final stages? In third place is Bulgaria. It looks to me as though Great Britain and Australia are through to the final, with Bulgaria third and perhaps out of it, but there's still about 400 metres to go. Great Britain now leading by about 3/4 of a length now it is over Australia, and they've got to make sure they hold on now and watch any challenge that might come from Bulgaria. But they've got about 1.25 lengths on Bulgaria, and Australia now coming second to Great Britain as they come into the last 300 metres. And it's now the Great Britain crew leading from Australia, and then back in third place would be Bulgaria, and then a long, long way back to Korea.
Things are looking pretty good for the Australians. If they can maintain this position, they'll be through to the final, but they're putting in some kind of challenge now on Great Britain, pulling out some big ones. They can afford to go for broke. The final's not till Sunday. Great Britain still lead. Australia coming home pretty strongly. So are the Bulgarians, but I think Australia's going to be through. We've still got about 150 metres to go. Great Britain leading by about half a boat length from the Australians, and the Australians really working hard in overtime to keep out the Bulgarians. I think they're going to do it. Great Britain still in command. We're only about 100 metres out now. Great Britain about 3/4 of a boat length from the Australians, getting down towards the line. Australia's going to be in the final. Great Britain's won this repechage heat, but Australia's got second, and that's good enough to get through to the final. About a boat length back in third place was Bulgaria, and long, long way down the course was the Koreans. But a great effort from Australia. Great Britain won it, but Australia is into the final, and that's great news.
I think that was a superb effort from Australia. A superb row by Great Britain. I wouldn't detract from that, but we saw Australia yesterday a very close-up second to West Germany. In the repechage, a very close-up second to Great Britain, and this is really taking them on. I think they're going to get better and better as the week goes on. The crew really, when you think about it, having had the changes after the Seul regatta in July, really it's only their second race together. So a superb effort from Australia, I think, in getting themselves into the final, and I think they'll get better by Sunday.
Yes, and the Australian supporters that are here will certainly be relieved to see the eights into the final as we watch again the replay of the finish with Great Britain, the best part of a boat length ahead of Australia. But the Australians have done very well, Graham, and I'm sure that you're very pleased in the studio.
Yes, I certainly am, Ian. I wanted to ask Doug, did you really think, Doug, that the Australians would have beaten Great Britain?
I was hoping they might, but you've got to remember that at Lucerne, Great Britain came third. I thought Great Britain would do better than they did yesterday. But on the other hand, whilst I thought Australia might beat Great Britain today, the main thing is that they're into the final. I think that Australia will get better with every row, and having watched that row today, I think Australia's going to do very well. It's going to be one of the great finals of Olympic regattas ever. There's no question about it.
Were you more happier with Australia's performance against West Germany than this row today?
Perhaps I think I'd have to agree with that. Definitely, I thought the performance against West Germany was very, very good. But again, the margins are so tight here that when we think about being so close to West Germany yesterday, so close to Great Britain today, one can see a blanket finish of about 5 crews and nothing more than just about a length between them.
All right, thanks, Doug. Doug Donoghue and Ian Maurice out there at the Hahn River with our Aussie eights. The news just there that they're through now to the final, and that's good news. And on that news, we'll take a break and be back with more of the games of the 24th Olympiad.